Now there's another tool that we can use to help us understand how graphs line out on a Cartesian coordinate plane. And it has to do with this idea of intercepts. Where does a line or a graph intercept the various axes? So the terms that we're looking for is, we might ask ourselves, what is the x-intercept or what is the y-intercept? And those obviously mean where the line crosses either the x-axis or the y-axis. So notice on my first graph over there, I have a graph that crosses the axes at two different places. Crosses the x-axis right there at -1, and it crosses the y-axis here at +2. So on that one, we would say then that the x-intercept, where it crosses the x-axis at, we would say the x-intercept is -2. And what would you say the y-intercept is? The y-intercept would be, x-intercept's -1. You saw that. And the y-intercept? Y-intercept would be a +2. All right, sorry about that -2 there. X-intercept is -1 because that's where it crosses the x-axis at, and the y-intercept is 2 because that's where it crosses the y-axis at. Now, that point we discovered is not necessarily a singular point. It has an address. It has both an x and a y coordinate. So although the x-intercept is -1, the location where it crosses the x-axis is actually at the point -1 and 0. And that's the coordinate point. Horizontally -1, up and down 0. The y-intercept, where's its location? Its location is at 0 and 2. So notice that when we create a coordinate pair or determine or locate a coordinate pair, if it's on one of the axes, one of the two values are going to be 0. And that 0 reflects the fact that it's on the axes is the point we're looking at. Second graph. So what would you say are the x and y intercepts? We would say the x-intercept it's a 3. And the coordinate point that it's at would be at the point 3 and 0. Now the y-intercept, what are you thinking? Yeah, you're kind of confused. It's like, wait a minute. That one doesn't look like we'll ever cross the y-axis because this line is parallel to the y-axis. It means they'll never touch. So if that's the case, there is no y-intercept. There's only an x-intercept on that particular line. And then another wrinkle that you might see is located in this third one. What would you say is the intercepts? Well, in this particular case, the x-intercept is at 0, crosses the x-axis at the 0 mark. And specifically, the location would be 0, 0, because it's crossing through the origin. And because of that unique factor, we would say the y-intercept would also be a 0 with a location of 0, 0. So on this one, the point is both the x and the y-intercept. So we're going to look at how intercepts can help us as we learn a little bit more of how to graph different types of models and so forth.